You are lying still. The day is behind you now. Whatever it asked of you, whatever it took, it is done. You don't need to carry it further. Tonight I want to tell you something that Alan Watts spent his whole life trying to say in 100 different ways. Something simple, so simple it almost disappears when you try to look at it directly. A river doesn't know where it's going. It doesn't plan. It doesn't push. It simply moves. And somewhere in that movement, there is a kind of peace that we spend our whole lives searching for. Not because the river has found something, but because the river has stopped needing to find anything at all. Let your breathing slow now. There is nowhere to arrive tonight. Alan Watts was a philosopher, but not the kind who stands at a chalkboard and explains things to you. He was more like someone who sat beside you in the dark and pointed at something you had always seen but never quite noticed. He said this once very quietly. You cannot step into the same river twice. Not because the river is different, but because you are different. Every moment is a new stepping. Every breath is a river you have never breathed before. We forget this. We carry yesterday like a stone in our chest. We lean toward tomorrow like it owes us something. And the river just moves. Let your body soften now. Imagine the back of your head sinking gently into what is beneath you, your shoulders letting go. The weight of everything you are holding. You can set it down here. There is a concept in Chinese philosophy called Wu Wei. It is usually translated as non-action or effortless action. But that translation doesn't quite hold the feeling of it. A better way to feel it is to watch a leaf fall from a tree. The leaf doesn't try to fall. It doesn't decide the angle. It doesn't plan where it will land. It simply releases. And in that releasing, it does something perfectly, something no amount of effort could improve. Alan Watts loved this idea. He returned to it again and again. He said that most of us go through life as if we are rowing upstream. Arms aching, jaw tight, trying so hard. And the current is always there, patient, moving, waiting for us to put the oars down. Can you feel any effort in your body right now? In your jaw, or your hands, or somewhere deep in your chest? You don't need to fix it, just notice it. And let the river take it. Watts grew up in England, the son of a vicar, surrounded by Christianity and propriety and the serious business of being good. But something in him was always listening for a different sound. He found it in Zen Buddhism, in Taoism, in the quiet spaces between words. He spent years trying to understand why we suffer so much, why we struggle, why peace always seems to be somewhere just ahead of us. Just around the next corner, after the next achievement, when things finally settle down. And then one day he understood something. Peace is not ahead of you. It never was. It is here. It is now. It is this. This exact moment, with all its imperfection, with everything unresolved. This. Let your eyes rest behind your eyelids. There is nothing to see, nothing to watch for. He told a story once about a student who came to a Zen master. The student was earnest, very serious. He had been meditating for years, studying, practicing. He sat down across from the master and said, "I have been working very hard on my practice. I want to achieve enlightenment. How much longer will it take?" The master looked at him for a long moment and said, "About the same amount of time as it takes to boil water by placing ice on top of the pot." The student was confused, and the master smiled. The trying is the obstacle. The achieving is the obstacle. The one who is trying to become enlightened is the last thing that needs to go. We do this with sleep too, don't we? We try to sleep. We work at it. We monitor ourselves. Am I falling asleep yet? Why am I not asleep? I need to be asleep. And the trying keeps us awake. So let the trying go now. You don't need to fall asleep. You just need to rest here in this. Watts had a voice like warm wood, unhurried, slightly amused at the whole thing. He once said, "We thought that life was a journey, that you were supposed to arrive somewhere, that there was a point to it all. But what if life is more like music? You don't play music to get to the end of the piece. You play it to play it. And when you understand that, everything changes." Think about that tonight. You are not here to get somewhere. You are here to be here. This breath, this dark, this quiet, not a means to anything, not a preparation. Just this. Let your breath become something you notice rather than something you do. It was always happening. You were always breathing. You just forgot to stop controlling it. Alan Watts said something that has stayed with me. He said, "You are a function of what the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is what the whole ocean is doing." Think about a wave. A wave doesn't push the water forward. The water doesn't travel. The wave is a shape that the water makes as energy passes through it. Here, then here, then here. And then it's gone, and another wave rises, and that one is also the ocean. You are like that. Not a separate thing floating on the water, but the water itself rising for a moment into this particular shape. This body, this breath, this quiet night, the universe breathing itself into your particular form. And tonight, it is breathing slowly. There is a Japanese word, mono no aware. It means the pathos of things, the gentle sadness that comes from knowing that everything passes. Cherry blossoms are the perfect symbol. They bloom for only a week, maybe less, and the Japanese celebrate them not despite their brevity, but because of it. The falling is the point. The impermanence is the beauty. The ending is what makes it sacred. Alan Watts understood this. He wrote about how our culture treats time as something to be conquered, to be used, to be filled. But the Japanese and the Taoists and the Zen masters, they understood that emptiness is not the enemy. This quiet moment, this space between thoughts, this dark, this is not the absence of something. This is what everything rests in. Let your mind drift now, like a petal on still water. There is no direction, no destination. Just this drifting. He talked about the divided self, the part of you that watches the other parts, the part that judges, that evaluates, that says, too slow, too fast, not enough, still not asleep. He called this the self-spectator, the inner observer who can never simply experience because he is always commenting on the experience. And the problem with the self-spectator is that every time you try to stop him, you create another spectator watching the first one stop. You can't catch the eye that sees. You can't watch the watcher. So what do? Nothing. You just let it be there, the watcher, the commentary, the slight restlessness. All of it floating in the same river. Watts would say, let the thoughts come, let them go. You don't have to follow them. You don't have to stop them. A river doesn't fight the leaves that fall into it. It just carries them a while, and then they're gone. In the middle of his life, something happened to Alan Watts. He had been talking about peace, writing about presence, lecturing about the present moment. And then one afternoon, sitting in the garden of his houseboat in Sausalito, he stopped. Not dramatically, not as an achievement. He just stopped. And he noticed that he was already where he was trying to get to. The sunlight on the water, the sound of the bay, his own hands resting in his lap. All of it simply happening without effort, without commentary. He said afterward that it wasn't an experience of anything special. It was just the ordinary, seen clearly for the first time. The ordinary is extraordinary. It always was. This dark room, this breath, these sounds that drift in from outside. Extraordinary. We are coming to the end of something now. Not the end of a story, because there is no end. Just a quieting. Alan Watts said that we make a fundamental mistake. We think the universe is something we are inside of. Like a room, like a container, something that surrounds us. But it is not like that. You are not in the universe the way a fish is in water. You are the universe the way a wave is the ocean. Not separate, not contained. Arising. Your breathing slows. The thoughts become slower too, further apart. Like stars that seem closer together in the center of the sky, and then spread out near the horizon, and then just dark. There is nothing left to understand tonight. Whatever was unresolved can stay that way. Whatever was left undone will wait. The river does not stop moving while you sleep. The world holds itself together without your attention. It always has. Alan Watts said, "You don't have to do anything at all to be here. You're already here. The fact that you exist means you have already arrived." You are already here. Not almost here, not on the way. Here. Let that be enough. The river moves. The night holds everything. You can let go now. You can let go.